You probably think seeing a tiger behind a glass wall at the city zoo is the real deal, but you are actually missing out on the most heart-racing part of the animal kingdom. Most people spend their whole lives looking at bored animals in cages, thinking they've seen nature, but there is a massive difference between a lion that gets fed a steak at noon and a lion that hasn't eaten in 4 days and is currently tracking a herd of buffalo across the hot African plains. In this video, we are going way past the gift shops and the concrete enclosures to see what happens when humans step into the home of the rarest creatures on Earth. We are talking about places so remote that you have to hike for days just to see a single footprint. I am going to show you why the zoo version of an animal is basically a cardboard cutout compared to the living, breathing, and sometimes terrifying reality of the wild. There is one specific animal that is so hard to find that most scientists go their entire careers without seeing it in person, and I'll tell you exactly how people are finally tracking it down. When you see a snow leopard in a zoo, it usually looks like a big, sleepy house cat. But in the wild, they call these things the ghost of the mountains. They live up in the Himalayas at altitudes so high that most humans would be gasping for air just trying to stand still. There are only about 4,000 of them left in the entire world. To see one, you have to endure sub-zero temperatures and sit perfectly still for hours on end, staring at gray rocks until one of the rocks suddenly stands up and starts moving. It is not just about the animal, it is about the feeling of being in a place where humans aren't the boss. The biggest problem we face today is that these natural homes are disappearing faster than we can visit them. For example, the Javan rhino is so rare that there are only about 75 of them left on the entire planet. They all live in one single national park in Indonesia. If a big storm or a disease hits that one spot, they are gone forever. This makes witnessing them in the wild a race against time. It is not like the zoo where you can just show up on a Saturday morning. You have to deal with thick mud, giant spiders, and the very real chance that you will go home with 0 photos. The real climax of any trip into the wild is that split second when the forest goes quiet. I remember hearing about a group of travelers in Rwanda who spent 6 hours hacking through vines to find mountain gorillas. They were tired, sweaty, and ready to quit. Suddenly, the bushes parted, and they were standing 5 feet away from a 600-pound silverback. Unlike the zoo, there was no fence. The gorilla looked right at them, not with boredom, but with total awareness. In that moment, you realize you aren't just watching a show, you are a guest in someone else's house. Seeing animals this way changes how you think about the world. It makes you realize that these creatures don't exist for our entertainment. They have their own lives, their own families, and their own daily struggles to stay alive. While zoos can help with breeding and education, nothing compares to the raw power of a predator on the hunt or the silence of a rare bird in a canopy. We need to protect these wild spaces because a world where we only see animals behind bars is a world that has lost its soul.